Persona is in a weird place where we have some idea of what they're planning to do for some future ideas, but not a lot. We don't have a lot of ideas for what's going on in the future for Persona. I had done a video about this called The Future of Sonic, which I did where I talked about, some ideas I'd like to see for the Sonic the Hedgehog series to be done when it came to games or the comics or animation and stuff like that. So I figured I'd do one for Persona. I love Persona. It is one of my favorite series. So I figured, you know what? Let's do it. I'm going to give my thoughts on Persona and what I would like to see in the future. So what do we know that is confirmed for the future for Persona? Well, that is, of course, the Persona 4 remake, which they should have called Persona 4 Rewind. It was right there. Come on, man. And we have currently Phantom X going on. Persona 5 Phantom X, the mobile game, which is currently going on. And that's what we know is currently happening. Phantom X is the current thing they're doing. And Persona 4 Rewind is the next thing. And that comes out... Is it next year? I believe it might come out next year. So that's what we know is happening with Persona. But everything else we don't know. So what would I like? Well, keeping with remakes, I'd love to see a remake of Persona 1 and 2. I think that would be good. We have, of course, 5 is the most recent one, so we don't have to touch that because 3 remake and the 4 remake are using the engine and the aesthetic and everything of 5, right? So we have those 3 going to be pretty much now the same type of engine in a way. I'd love to see that for 1 and 2 because 1 and 2, they really don't get talked about as much as the other ones. Now that's for a good reason because, Persona 3 pretty much saved Atlas, right? And then 4 was very popular and then 5 just launched this series to the stratosphere and, really brought it some worldwide recognition. So I get why 3, 4, 5 are the ones that are talked about all the time, but I'd like to see a 1 and 2 remake. Bring some more eyes and attention back to them. Because, that's what happened with 3. With Persona 3 Reload. That launched all the Persona 3 characters back in. And now people are talking about them again. So I'd love to see... we're going to do that with Persona 4. So I'd love to see that happen with the originals. Persona 1 and Persona 2. I think that'd be fun. Whether you do them as a bundle or you do them separately. A Persona 1 or Persona 2 remake. That's up to you, but I'd love to see remakes of those games. Bring them back into the spotlight. No one really talks about them that much, and I'd love to see them brought back into the spotlight. So that's what I have for remakes. Now we can move on to some spin-off games I'd like to see. So first off, I'd love to see a Persona 3 or a Persona 5 arena game. So Persona 4 Arena, for those who don't know, is pretty much a Persona 4 fighting game. And I want that for every Persona, dude. Are you kidding me? Especially with the roster of 3 and 5. Man, I would love to have a fighting game with that roster. That is crazy. Joker's already been in Smash. So come on, man. Let's do it. That like I said, with the roster we have, with those 2 games, getting them a fighting game, I think that's pretty easy to do. And Persona 4 Arena, it's such a great idea. I love it. I really love the game so much. And again, I'd love one for 3 and 5. That'd just be super fun. Imagine the aesthetic matching those 2 games as well. And all the stages we can have. We can have a Tartarus stage for 3. We can have the Iwatodai Dorm as a stage. For 5, dude, we can have the meta space or whatever it is. I forget it. I'm blanking on it at the moment. We can have that as a stage. We could have so many stages in here, dude. And I'm all for it. I want that. Please give me that. So next up is I would like a Q3, Persona Q. So Persona Q were games on the 3DS. And they were pretty much dungeon crawlers with the Persona series, with the Persona cast of characters. They were very much modeled after the Etrian Odyssey games, if you know what those are. And they were crossovers between the Persona series. So Persona Q1 was a crossover between 3 and 4, and then Persona Q2 was a crossover with 3, 4, 5. Which is awesome, right? Because we all want to see these characters interact. So let's do another one. Who would be in it? I mean, if I was to do a Q3, I would just get the whole thing. It would be a massive crossover between Persona 1 through 5. That'd be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, if you think that's too big of a task, then we can do either, 1 and 2 crossover with each other, or we can do, once again, 3, 4, 5 again. Right? That's what we can do. Because, let's be honest, this is a game for fun, right? This is a game for fun. This is not a game that we're going into going, oh man, I can't wait to get my Persona, fix and, get my whole Persona story and all that, right? Like, no, dude, this is for fun. I'm here for fun now. I'm not here to get, like, the full-on Persona story thing and get that lore, the juicy, good Persona lore, right? And get that brilliant story. No, this is for fun. I'm here for fun, dude. I'm here just to see these characters interact and to play a fun dungeon crawler. So I think Q3 would be nice. I think this would be a lot of fun. I think this would be a lot of fun. Now, Q2 was more focused on Persona 5 than anything, right? Like, the Persona 5 characters were the main cast. I understand why, because, at the time Persona 5 was the newest game and was blowing up, so they wanted to capitalize on that. Maybe if they do Q3 and we get, Persona 3, 4, 5 again, we do it more to where it's an even thing, where now the cast is even, right? So that I think maybe we do that. But anyway, that is my idea for a new Persona Q game. And also, maybe we can get it dubbed in English by the voice actors this time. That would also, I would also kind of like that. And then, keeping with the spin-offs, Strikers. Do Strikers for 3 and 4. Persona Strikers is great. It's a Warriors game. It's a Dynasty Warriors game for Persona 5. I love it. Do it for 3 and 4 as well. Please, just let's do it. Come on, man. I want to play as Kanemaru and just go crazy with, the dog, and or play as Aegis and just mow them down, baby. Just mow them down. Come on. That is fun. And then Phantom X. I put Phantom X here because we don't know what's going to happen with Phantom X. We don't know if Phantom X is going to get, like, updates to where new story content is there. But what I pretty much put Phantom X for is to not forget Phantom X. Keep the cast of characters that we have in Phantom X alive and well, is what I have. I don't want them to be forgotten and relegated to, hey, remember that time Persona 5 did a mobile game? Spin-off? Like, no, I want you to keep this cast of characters here. Keep Wonder alive. Keep my man going. Please. I don't want to forget him. I would love him to stay around and be a character going forward. Maybe Q3, you can have it be more Persona 5 meet Persona Phantom X again, or something like that, right? Where fully the cast of characters get to meet, or something like that, right? Like, that would be fun. Like, don't forget Wonder. That's pretty much what I'm saying. Let my boy be around. And to end the video off, finally, Persona 6. We know Persona 6 is happening. It is happening, despite how many YouTuber videos were like, Persona 6 is never coming out. It's happening, guys. It's happening. It takes a while, though, because that's how long these games take. They want to make sure they got it all ready for you. And for all we know, who knows whether Persona 6 is going to run on the same engine. Maybe Persona 6 is the start of a new engine, right? Could be the case. And Persona 4 Rewind is the last game to be on this engine, and then Persona 6 will introduce a new one. We don't know, but I would rather them take their time and make me a great game than do what the rest of the AAA industry does, where they rush a game out that's not finished. So please take your time and make me a good game. So just some ideas for what I'd like to see in Persona 6. A change of scenario could be nice, where we're no longer high school students, maybe we're college students. Could be a different idea, right? Because we're always high school students. So maybe we try college students, or just out of school in general. We're not in school anymore. Could be just an idea for something to do. I mean, of course, I think everyone knows the aesthetic for the game is probably going to be green, right? Because 3 is blue, 4 is yellow, 5 is red, so 6 is green. That seems to be what everyone is kind of settled on. is that it's going to be green, which I'm fine with. The idea is, will this be the game to have a female main character? Will we have a female main character for the first time in a Persona series? Some people have been clamoring for it. I am not against the idea, because, I mean, at the end of the day, the main character, it's just you, right? They're just a stand-in for you. They're pretty mute unless, you make all the decisions and all that type of stuff, right? So that's pretty much what the character is, right? Like, Makoto in 3 is he's just us, right? He's just us. So, I'm not against the idea, right? My only argument against it is when it's not people who are just like, oh, it'd be fun to, mix it up and have a female main character again. Because we had a female main character for P3 Portable, I believe. It was Persona 3 Portable. We had the option to pick a female main character, which was a nice idea, right? As like an alternate thing you could do. But is when it's the people who are very clearly not fans of Persona and they're just tourists are like, oh my god, Persona needs to have a female character because it's always been for boys and that is not good. Buddy, who do you think the male demo of this series is? Because I'm going to give you a hint. It ain't women. The main audience for this series, it's my age range, baby. It's the young men because the series appeals to us. So, that is my only problem with a female main character is it because of those people. But when it's the people who genuinely just want it because it'd be a nice mix-up, I'm totally like, all right, cool, right? And this also brings me to the idea, maybe you can do a choose your protagonist thing, where you have the option to pick, between maybe a set of protags, and you pick which one. It could be a thing where maybe the people you don't pick then show up in the story later. Right? Kind of like who you pick maybe shifts the story a bit. That could be a cool idea, I think. Or it could just be a thing where you choose between a male protagonist and a female protagonist. So that way you give people options. So if they want a female protagonist, she's right there for you to play as, right? But if there's some people who still want to play as the male protagonist, here we go. We got one for you, right? Like a P3P situation where you can play as which one you want. Type of thing, right? And maybe it changes the dynamics a bit between them, but overall it's going to be the same story type of deal. We saw the thing like in Minecraft story mode, right? Like the Telltale game, like you can pick between a variety of skins or whether your character is male or female. You could do that. So maybe we do something like that for Persona because it gives people options, right? You have the option to be what version you want type of deal. So, there we go. And, I mean, that's nice, right? Gives you options. So that way it's not like shoving it in, like, oh, you gotta be the female, or you have to play as a male again. It's like, no, we're gonna give you an option. You get to choose which one you pick. And finally, this is just something I would like in Persona 6 feature. I want Persona 6, bring back the romance. That is one of my main grudges with Metaphor. You cannot romance. Bring it back. The romances are a staple of the Persona series. That is a goddamn core element of the Persona series, and I better get that back for the next game. Metaphor better just be, that's a Metaphor thing. They just decided not to do romances for Metaphor. You put the romances back in for Persona. You understand me? I need those romances back. Okay? Those things give me a life. So bring them back, please. And that's going to do it for me on some ideas for what I'd like to see for the future of Persona. I don't think any of these are too out of the extreme. Like a 1 and 2 remake, I don't think that's crazy. Asking them not to forget Wonder and his crew from Phantom X, I think is not too crazy. Making, just the usual spin-offs, but with the games you haven't yet, is what I'm doing. Right? And then just some ideas for what I'd like to see in Persona 6. And again, I think a lot of my stuff isn't too crazy. So there we go. What do you guys want to see for the future Persona? Let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you guys all next time. Take care.